We are back inside of the weekend cook up with your boy Chaotic One. And y'all already know, man, it is time for the first Chaotic One-on-One today. And it's coming from the one and only. Who we got on the phone?
Chaune Janay.
Janay in the building, man. If y'all know me and y'all know a little bit of my history with KMHP and the weekend cook up, man, y'all know Shawnee is like one of our favorites over here. We done showed a lot of love. She done showed that love back. And we got her here today for a brand new one. But before we talk about that brand new song, how you been?
Man, I can't complain. Still doing great. I feel like every time I talk to you, something new, something better. So can't complain.
Man, that's a
Just
beautiful thing.
working.
That's a beautiful thing. That's what we like actually see. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and that's one of the reasons why you are one of our favorites because of the fact that you let the work speak for itself. You don't have to
Definitely.
sit around and talk. But of
Definitely.
course, you know, I gotta ask you a few questions before we jump into that new single. Let everybody know originally where you from and where you reside now.
Okay, so originally born and raised Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I live in Atlanta, Georgia now. I've been here 2 years now.
Okay. So my first question is that being you come from Minneapolis and you're in Atlanta now, what do you feel like the temperature of the music scene there is different versus here in Minneapolis?
Oh man. I think it's completely different. I guess I haven't been in Minneapolis in some years too, but it's been more like here is just something always going on every day, all day. These people don't sleep.
Right.
It's more opportunities, but I mean, it's still stuff going on in Minnesota. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like it's just always something to get yourself out there down here,
Yeah.
and just always like networking events, performances. I'm talking about Monday through Sunday, sun up to sundown. You can find somewhere to do something and work on your craft.
Now, with that being said, the landscape of Atlanta and the artists that are there, do you genuinely see more of a kinship and a building process with the artists there versus other places that you've been as far as performing wise and networking wise? Would you say that that landscape in Atlanta is more efficient?
Definitely, definitely. I feel like the independent artists we run the A. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm gonna, speak on something, no, I'm just kidding. But I do feel like when it comes to like the indie artists and just the events and things like that we have going on down here, everybody pull up for everybody, everybody, supporting everybody. It's just everybody working. Like it's so much movement happening, grooving and shaking that it's like if you miss a day or two, people hitting you up like, you good? What's going on? You're like, dang, I just didn't come outside for one day. That's it. It was just one day. I needed to recoup. We've been outside till 6 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like as far as like the connections and just networking and people putting people on, I see it. I feel like they credit the ones who they see working. It's
Okay.
not really just based off the internet. Like in Atlanta, they like to see the ones that's outside. They like to see that you are outside. They don't really, they'll come to the internet stuff and look at your page afterwards, but they like to see that you walking around networking. You got, people putting posters and business cards and gas stations everywhere. People outside selling CDs or whatever they got to do. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So the culture here is different. It's one of a kind,
that's
but
what's
it's
up.
beautiful for sure.
I like that. I really like that. I like the energy and the camaraderie of what you said because that's what the music industry is and it's supposed to be
Definitely.
about. I mean, of course, it's a little bit different here in Minneapolis because they don't have the influence that
Right.
circulates through there. But
Right.
one day, possibly they'll get there. But
Definitely.
my next question is that being a female artist in the music game and industry being so sexualized, do you adhere to that energy? Do you fall in line with that energy? Are you against it? Where's your standpoint as far as sexualization in the music industry?
I feel like I'm more of a person who commends anybody that's able to get up and do it however they choose to go about their artistry. As far as I go, I feel like I do my thing, but in my own way. And I like that about me, that it's like I can still be sexy covered up, or I'll show something, but it's not like that's all that I talk about, or that's all that I am, or that's all that I stand for. And I feel like there are a lot more girls that are catching on to that wave, to where it's like, okay, it's not just about sex, and you know what I'm saying? We uplifting each other now. Now girls are trying to make, fun music and stuff that we all can vibe to, but it's not necessarily overly sexualized. But I definitely tap into it. I'm not ran by it, I don't think, but I do tap into it, and I just make it my own, to where I'm comfortable still in my skin, and I don't feel like I'm trying to please nobody else.
Right. That's a great answer,
Definitely.
man.
Thank you.
That's dope. Who been
Thank you.
giving you some media coaching?
I know, right?
Okay, so now my next question is, before we jump into talking about the new single and everything, who would you say, as far as artist wise, influenced wise, who mostly influences Chaune Janay? And if you was compared to any artist, who would you feel like you would be set next to?
Oh, that's hard. I hear different things. I don't really try to get into like other people's stuff, because I try to stay as different as possible, just because my music is so dear to me, because I write everything and it's like based off of like me, my life, my experiences. But as far as like my cadence, or like switching it up, getting outside of the box, I would say Ciara and Rihanna.
Okay, okay, yeah, I could definitely see that. And then with you got a new single that you just dropped, but I want to talk about a couple of the other songs that you put out.
Okay.
Um, like for number one, like Bussin'. Really, really, the reason why I'm asking, what was the energy behind that song, and in the moment, what was you trying to put out there? The energy.
Okay, so I think the best way to explain where I was going with that one is, like I said, I try to be outside the box, so where I stand out. I try to talk about stuff like, even with Think About Me, I Think About Me was like a precursor to kind of set y'all up for busing. Like, like going into the actual night. Like Think About Me is like, okay, think about me, but now busing, you didn't thought enough, and
Okay.
we getting it going. That's kind of where I was going with that. But like I said, it was more so like, okay, how can I be different, and stand out and stand apart? And so I feel like when I wrote that, I think that was like my favorite song, because it was outside of the box. It was a little more sexualized than what I usually do, but that's the same thing with my new single that we gonna talk about in a minute. It's kind of the same thing with that. I just keep trying to grow. Everything might not work, and everything, so everybody not gonna love everything, but I put my time and my energy into it, and I take my time with everything that I do. I always end up with like three, before Bustin' even came about, there was like 3 or 4 songs that I wrote to that beat.
Okay.
And then I was able to finally like bring it together and be like, okay, this is the way it flows, what I'm talking about. I'm big on like painting a picture. I need you to see what I'm talking about so that you can feel it. And I try to connect in that way. And so it makes me, like I said, go outside of the box a little bit with how I explain myself and how I go about things. I've learned a lot, I will say, down here in the as far as my writing goes. If you go back to like my first EP, All Out There,
Yeah.
which I wrote in Minnesota when I was living in my car before I even moved down here, or even thought about music being what it is now for me today.
Right.
I still was talking my stuff, but it was like, okay, it was more elongated. Now it's like, which I hope everybody can hear with outside. It's more like I'm talking my, can we curse? I'm talking my stuff. I'm talking my stuff, but it's like them quick whips, you know what I'm saying? More of like how the A moves, like they get straight to the point, but it's not, so long where it's like, okay, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
You're using 1,000 words. Nope, I'm getting it in, getting it out, and I credit being down here for that, for sure.
Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the new single that you just dropped. Go ahead and tell them the name of the song and when you actually released it.
Okay, so my new single is called "We Outside," written by none other than Chaune Janay. I released it on the 31st. It was just a couple days ago.
Okay.
So it's still fresh. Yeah, yeah, last Friday. I released it last Friday with the mic drop, the music video I'll be shooting next month,
Okay.
and sending it straight to you. So yeah,
Yeah.
be on the lookout for that. But it is out on all platforms as of now. All the stores have it, so you can definitely Chaune Janay, We Outside. Um, yeah.
Now, what was the motivation behind this particular song? Because I know that a lot of people, male and female, hip hop, rap, R&B, have did their rendition of being outside. What
Right.
made Chaune Janay want to jump on the track and tell everybody she's outside?
Because I be outside. I really do be outside. But I am. Like I got like 5 places that I said I was gonna pop up to tonight.
Right.
But no, I do be outside, but We Outside came because honestly I wanted something fun. The weather down here is usually like, I mean, it's cold to them, but from being from Minnesota, the winter is still beautiful and good weather to me. But like
Right.
I said, all year round, there's always stuff to do here. And I just feel like now was the time to switch it up and show my versatility. Honestly, I wanted to show that like I wasn't just not that I wasn't just R&B, because I'm R&B through and through, but I was also able to flip it up, flip it, switch it up. You know what I'm saying? I said flip it up, switch it up,
Yeah.
and show a different side and still pop my shit like Bussin' or Think About Me, but get out of the slow lover girl singing realm and give them something fun that really, like I said, I call this a filler. I wasn't expecting the um hype that I'm getting from it and all the love that I'm getting from it. I think I
Yeah.
shocked a
Yeah.
lot of people with this one.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting that. Like I said, I made this for fun, just to, see if I can get outside of the box. And then I ended up falling in love with it. I went to the studio and shout out Rekyard Studio. He's amazing. I love how we vibe as well. And so
Did he
like
produce it?
no, I just recorded there with him. I actually bought this license off of BeatStar. So shout out Easy Music. That's the
Okay.
producer of this beat that I bought this beat from. And yeah, like I said, it was just something to have a fun vibe. I didn't really know what was gonna come out of it, because I'm like, how do I get outside of the box? Like I'm still trying to like sing, and like
Yeah.
I said, I wrote more than one song to this beat as well, because I was still too scared to get outside of the box. And so then when I finished with this product, I shocked myself. I'm
Right.
like, bro, I wrote this. I did this. So I was kind of proud of myself. But yeah, it started off as something like super fun, just to show my versatility and show my growth,
Okay.
and to show that I'm consistent too. I'm out here,
Yeah.
singers is, because the girl rappers, they got it right now down here. I don't know how like invested or how much you be into the scene down here,
Yeah.
which I know you do,
I
but
keep my eyes on everything.
yeah, you can see the girls is doing their thing right now. So it's a beautiful time to be a part of this movement and just to be a part of the wave. And I didn't want to be missed. And then another thing, because everybody is outside, I'm trying to get part of that industry vibe. Like that's what I dropped Bussin' for. When Bussin' came out, Bussin' by Nicki Minaj
Mhm.
came out, as well as Bussin' by Moneybag had came out. And I said, well, let me go on and get it busting.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so that was
Yeah.
kind of how that, and those 2 songs was going up on the chart. So I kind of think of it like that too, like just trying to manipulate the system just a little bit.
Okay.
So
I know. I was telling your momager when I got the single. I had told her, and I don't know if she had relayed the message to you, but I had told her probably about 6 months ago
mhm.
that we had got a nice assortment of the R&B love, slow, different type of vibes from you, and I was
Mhm.
like, I strongly suggested that you would step outside of your box. So when I heard "We Outside," I was like, damn, you know what I mean? Like I was like, you really
Hey.
got to nail that point. You so much so that I had played it on the low. I don't know if you
Mm,
know, but I
yeah.
actually had played it one time before it had even dropped. That's how hype I was about the song,
Hey,
So,
that part.
I just really want to tell you congratulations on
Thank
dropping
you.
that. And of course, with us over here, we're gonna do everything in our power to make sure that we get it in every corner of the world that we possibly
Definitely.
can. Because whether you're outside in Atlanta, people outside in Poland, people
That's
outside of
right.
Russia, people outside in Jamaica, all over the world. So it's the truest theme for you. Now, before we get you out of here, because I know you're a busy person, you got shows to do tonight. We're gonna do this or that. It's this thing
Oh,
called this or that, where I'm gonna give you two things, and you choose between the two. It's almost like how they do on Drink Champs, but it's the K
oh yeah. Okay.
101
Oh
version of
Lord.
it. All right,
Okay.
so it's only three of them. Okay, so number one, this or that, studio or live performance.
It's not easy.
They're not made to be easy, but hey.
Studio.
Okay, good one, good one.
Studio.
Okay, all right. My
Because I
next one
love to
is
see my vision come to life.
okay. So my next one is writing. Do you like to write alone, or do you find yourself comfortable in a group setting writing?
Alone. I don't need no inputs, please.
Okay. So, and then my last one is, do you prefer the R&B vibe only, or do you like testing multiple, or would you be willing, or have you tested multiple genres of different music?
I would say multiple genres. I actually have a song with a rocker in North Carolina. That's dropping when he comes back from California. I'm supposed to be going to North Carolina to shoot the music video for it, and he has more of a rock vibe. So I'm excited about that. But I still kept my R&B vibe, brought my R&B vibe with that song. But that's one of my songs that's kind of outside the box too, just because he got that rasp rocker voice.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I'm trying to tap all the markets. I'm talking about K-pop. I'm trying to go wherever. But I still feel like I'll bring, like, outside, for example, when people heard, like, when you hear it, you think I'm about to try to, get my Caribbean on, but I'm not Caribbean, and I don't want to placate or, try to, overdo it when I haven't practiced that. So I came as myself, just on that Caribbean vibe.
But
So
no,
I
it
feel
worked.
like,
It worked perfectly together.
thank you.
So, I mean, sometimes it's the different entities, and you put them
Yeah,
together. It's a marriage. So
definitely.
congratulations on that brand new single.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? I appreciate you for sitting down with Chaotic one on one.
Always,
But
always.
what I want you to do, because we're
Okay.
about to jump into your single, go ahead and introduce your single right here, right now on the Weekend Cook Up.
Hey, what's good? It's your girl Chaune Janay. You already know we with Chaotic on the weekend cook up. This my new single, "We Outside" by none other than Chaune Janay.
Y'all already know what it is. It's the Weekend Cook Up with your boy Chaotic One. Let's get into this hot one right here, right now. 3,